So Marjorie Taylor Greene went on the Steve Bannon show, and she came completely off the rails. We all knew that she would. I knew when Donald Trump became a convicted felon that MAGA was going to explode. I knew they were going to blame it all on Joe Biden. It was all going to be a weaponized government. I mean, Donald Trump has been saying their talking points this entire time. So we knew it was going to be bad. I really didn't think they would compare him to Jesus Christ, but they did. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course, is the one we're all looking at going, man, her reaction is going to really be bad. And it was. But she takes things a step further here in this next clip, folks. It's one thing to be mad about the verdict. It's one thing to be mad and think that everything is rigged against you. But Marjorie Taylor Greene now has taken the same rhetoric that she's been using about Ukraine when she says, don't send another dime to Ukraine, we won't fund Ukraine. Now she's saying that about the American citizens in New York. I never would have thought she could get this low, but again, they have no bottom. Take a look.
That your belief is, as a sitting congressman, that the Speaker of the House is lying to President Trump? He's not doing everything,
yes.
ma'am?
Yeah, no, he's doing nothing. He's helping the Biden administration. He fully funded the Department of Justice. He fully funded the entire attack against President Trump. Jack Smith, special counsel, Merrick Garland. He fully funded Matthew Graves, who just convicted a 75-year-old woman yesterday, and they're sending her to prison for 2 years for protesting in an abortion clinic. No, Mike Johnson has fully funded all of this. He can stand at the sticks and say whatever he wants, but his words no longer matter. The only thing that matter are his actions going forward. The only thing that matter from the Republican Party to the American people are Republican actions going forward. That's the only thing that matters. And I think the American people have turned a corner after they watched that conviction come down in New York, to the point where it's like, you know what? Screw New York. New York doesn't deserve a damn penny. We shouldn't fund them one single dime, not a dime. Because New York, you want to know the state of New York? You know what they did, Steve? That state of New York released a monster, an illegal alien, that then traveled down to Georgia and murdered Laken Riley. Yet they convicted President Trump of 34 fake felony charges. Oh, no. The state of New York is the one that carries on and continues crime and violence and corruption. They don't deserve a penny from the federal government. That's what Speaker Johnson can do.
So isn't Marge the same one that always says put America first? We shouldn't be sending another dime to these countries. We have to put America first. And now she's saying that we shouldn't fund a state right here in the United States of America because one court went against Donald Trump. So I think the message she's truly trying to get across is if you step out of line with Donald Trump, then you don't deserve a dime of federal funding. What's she going to say about all the states that votes against him come November? Is she going to say the same thing about them? And how ridiculous is this when you really stop and think about it? Folks, I live here in blood red Tennessee. Guess what? It's going to go for Donald Trump come November. I know that. I know it's coming. I hope that eventually we can get our act together here in Tennessee. I would love to see us at least turn purple one day. But right now, we're blood red, and Tennessee is going to go for Donald Trump. Now, imagine if I said, you know what? We shouldn't send another dime to Tennessee if we're going to go for Donald Trump. We shouldn't send another dime. Well, guess what I'm doing? I'm cutting my nose off to spite my own face. Because if I took away federal funding from Tennessee and something disastrous happened here in Tennessee, my people would be completely screwed. And 9/11 happened in New York, Marge. We had that catastrophic event that took place. And that's one of the last times that this country truly did, just for a few minutes anyway, come together and set aside our differences. 9/11 and a couple of days after that, before it all became politicized like everything else in this world, we didn't care if you had a D or an R by your name. We were standing together. And now Marge wants to say to that state, oh, yeah, you're screwed. One courtroom went against Donald Trump. He lost a trial. So now the whole state should suffer. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely pathetic. And I don't know if she's woke up and realized this or not, but it actually goes against what her cult leader has been saying because he's actually dumb enough to think he can win New York. Take a look at this.
To come into New York, we're making a big play for New York. Other cities too, but this city, I love this city. And it's gone so bad in the last 4 years, and we're going to straighten New York out. So running for president, we're putting a big hit on New York. We think we can win New York. With 500,000 migrants that poured in and take over the parks, they took over your hotels, they take over everything. It's no good. And you know what they've done? They've destroyed so many people. The African American community now is not getting jobs. Migrants are taking their jobs that are here illegally. Hispanics are not getting jobs. Migrants are taking the jobs.
And not only that, but he says he plans on having a rally in Madison Square Garden. Take a look at this one.
And I think we have a good chance of winning New York. We're going to give it a big play. We're going to the South Bronx to do a rally. We're going to be doing a rally at Madison Square Garden, we believe. We think we're signing Madison Square Garden to do it. We're going to have a big rally honoring.
So I guess Marge needs to call up Donnie and tell him to cancel Madison Square Garden. I guess she needs to call him up and tell him to never hold an event in New York again. And what's that say to all the people in the Bronx that showed up for him? He stands up there and talks about how he can win New York, and all those people came out and pumped their fist. So I guess if you went to that rally, at the end of the day, Marge doesn't care about you. If something catastrophic happens in New York, you're shit out of luck because this court over here found Donald Trump guilty of 34 counts. So I knew their reaction was going to be bad. And I knew they were going to come out with their cancel culture, which, by the way, the right wing invented. I knew they were going to come out. We saw people saying, we're going to boycott New York. I'm not going to take a vacation in New York. I'm never going to New York again. Fine, don't go to New York again. I'll say this again. Whatever kind of temper tantrums MAGA wants to throw, go right ahead and throw it. Because the rest of us are sane, reasonable people. You all throw your temper tantrums. You all compare him to Jesus. You all do whatever you feel like doing. The rest of us is going to sit here and try to get a hold on everything and try to save our democracy and keep a little shred of sanity in this world. And while we're doing it, people like Marge is going to be out here spreading more and more of her hyperbole and fear, because everything they do is projection. When they say that we're trying to get people worked up, no, that's exactly what she's doing in this next clip.
But let me step in on what you were saying about Nikki Haley. Literally, after he was convicted, John Bolton and others were already calling for Trump to be replaced at the RNC convention. And they want to put Nikki Haley in because she is the controlled asset of the deep state. Her campaign, she has worked with Democrats, Democrat donors. She's fully propped up by the Democrat Party. She is the only so-called Republican that they will accept, and they want to replace Trump because it's not about Trump per se. Everything you're saying is correct. And people need to understand they are going to make an example of him because they hate the American people and they want to destroy our freedoms. They want a full-on globalist agenda. And the American people are against the globalist agenda. This is why they're going to do everything they can to either replace Trump at the convention or force Nikki Haley to be his VP pick. And I'm glad you're calling it out. Something else people need to be prepared for, Steve, is they're going to put President Trump in prison. They're going to do it. They've already come so far. They didn't convict him of 34 felony charges to stop and go, okay, now we're just going to have this fair campaign. They're going to put him in prison. They absolutely are going to do that because they want to make him so, they just want to make it where people won't go near him. And they know they're fighting for the independent vote where they can't steal elections. They're going to try to steal the election. They're still going to try to do that.
You know, I really believe at the end of the day, Marge would love for Trump to go to jail because she would love to be able to stand up and go off on her rants and go off talking about how the whole system was rigged against him and how Joe Biden did it all. That's what she's probably truly deep down hoping for, because guess what? Marjorie Taylor Greene does not have any ideas on how to fix your problems. Marjorie Taylor Greene does not have any ideas on how to make Americans' life better. All she can do is sit and rant and rave and spread her fear and spread her propaganda. Name me one idea Donald Trump has that can make the American people's life better. He doesn't. It's all about him. It's all about how he's a victim. And that's all that MAGA is these days. They're the party of victims. They're the party that everything is rigged against them. The whole system's rigged against them. No, for the first time in Donald Trump's life, he's being held accountable. And he was held accountable by a jury of his peers. They found him guilty. He's now a convicted felon. Live with it. That's the person that you're going to make the front runner of my grandfather's party. That's who you're going to put up front, and you're going to be proud to do it. And there's people saying, we don't care what he does. We know. We know you don't care what he does. But the rest of us is going to be over here with the voice of reason. The rest of us is going to be over here on the side of sanity and on the side of logic and on the side of facts and on the side of evidence and on the side of research and data. That's where we're going to be. We're going to be in the real world, and you all can stay over there in that alternate reality. You can plug into it, and you can live in fear every single day if you want to, and you can listen to the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene, and you can think that she has your best interest at heart, but she doesn't. She clearly only has Donald Trump's interest at heart. She is clearly his most loyal soldier, and he doesn't even care about her. He's not going to make her VP. He walked right past her once and snubbed her and didn't even shake her hand. He doesn't care about her, but she will sit there and she will continue to go down on her sword. So the next time you hear Marge saying, oh, we shouldn't send another dime to this country, just remember she won't send a dime to you. She wouldn't send a dime to you if you step out of line with Donald Trump.